Welcome back to Show Me What I've Been Missing, your pop culture podcast about things from the past. I'm one of your hosts, Elizabeth Stanton, and here with me is my other host,
Chris Mack. What's good?
And we are right now going through all of Sex and the City in its entirety.
Yes.
And we've gotten to the episode, season 2, episode 14, The Fuck Buddy. Chris, do you want to tell them who's back?
Say what?
Do you want to tell them who's back?
Skipper's back, baby. Skipper is back. He's in the very opening scene of the episode. It's
I know.
Awesome. It's so great to see him again. And not only is he back, he's back and better. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I had
find out towards the end.
I had told you, like, I was pretty sure he comes back like one more time. And then there was such a long stretch of episodes from the last time we saw him. I was like, I guess, no, mate. I was like, oh, I guess I have it wrong. But I could remember, I was like, he comes back and he stops being like super nice to Miranda and she gets turned on by that. But I was like, oh, I guess that maybe happened in one of the episodes we saw. But no, it's this episode, the one we've been waiting for.
And here's, you know what, we're gonna talk about it because I know that it happens towards the end, but we're already talking about Skip, so we might as well talk about the.
Let's just dive in with the Skipper Miranda situation.
I felt really bad for him because, like, you know, the video of the episode was kind of like that montage of all these girls breaking up with them, and they all seem to be Miranda types. Very career driven, very ambitious boss women, which is not a bad thing. Right. But it's a bad thing for him because he doesn't know how to, like. He's not the kind of guy that satisfies a woman like that. Like, maybe a woman like that ends up with him in the long run when she's tired of, like, being, you know, I guess, handled after a while, you know what I mean? Because, like, a woman like her, because you can tell, right? Like, she's, okay, so later in the episode, not to jump ahead, but, you know, she's dating the angry lawyer type. Yeah. She doesn't like his behavior in general, but then in certain aspects of the relationship, she enjoys that very, very much. And it's like a woman like that, usually that's like that aggressive. Like, it's a lot, like, you have to be like a super heavily masculine dude to handle that kind of woman. And Skipper's just not that kind of. Yeah,
he is not, I don't think, like I initially said way back in the first episode, a quote unquote nice guy in the sense of like, or maybe not a nice guy anymore in the sense of the like, the negative nice guy stereotype of like wearing people down or like I'm only being nice to you because I want to date. These are women he's genuinely dating, so it's not that kind of nice guy. He is a nice guy, but I do think he is too nice a guy in that sense of like being a little too milquetoast and not taking charge. Like, that can be frustrating, I think, if all these women are like take charge. Sometimes, like the Miranda situation, you do want someone else to make a decision about shit, you know, instead of, because every time they were breaking up with him, they were saying like, well, I want to do this. He's like, well, I want you to do that too. And it's sort of like, it's too over eager. It's like, get a bit of a spine, you know, which is a bummer because we saw him do that when he had like the hot art gallery girl or whatever she did before. I can't remember the other girl. Who then
the redhead, right? The other redhead that he brought to
the better Miranda. But then he was so simpy and spineless for Miranda that when she called, he was still inside that other girl, and that's pretty shitty.
Also, she did the same thing that she did to him at the restaurant. She was like, "Oh, have you been working out? Like, you look great." Blah blah blah. Yeah. She did the same thing at the end of this episode. I was like, "Have you been working out?" I was like, "You shut the fuck up and sit there."
But you know what? He was like, "Get the fuck away from me."
That was the best part of the episode. Yeah. I enjoyed it so much. He literally ran away from her. I don't want none of this at all.
Literally running from her.
I was, because at first when I was like, my heart sank when she broke up with the angry dude, and then as soon as she walked around the corner, she saw Skip. I was like, no, not again. Don't be drugged back in. But he didn't. He stayed strong. He told her to fuck off, and she can't handle it. It's awesome.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's like I said, though, like, Skipper is a nice guy, but you need your nice guys to step up, not just in like people pleasing ways, which is I think what he does. That is a turnoff.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like, I mean, unless most people, unless they're like huge narcissists, especially women too. Please don't, if I'm coming off wrong, please correct me. But I feel like most women who are not narcissists don't want to be worshipped, and Skip is the kind of guy that worships a woman, and that makes people, like I said, who aren't narcissists, very uneasy. It's like
it's uncomfortable.
You're putting me on this pedestal that I can't really, basically like you're making me more than human, and then I'm gonna fucking show you that I'm actually just human, and I'm gonna disappoint you. And nobody wants that kind of a pressure in a relationship. They may not know that pressure is there, but it's something innately in our body that tells us like, hey, you know what I mean? It's
like even subconsciously you're like, I'm gonna like fail to meet his like not standards, but like his ideals. He thinks of me this way, but like I know I'm not gonna always be doing this or that, or be like what it's a lot. It's a lot of pushing ideals onto other people and whatnot. But that kind of ties into the overall theme of patterns and
That's true. But here's the thing. Skip broke his pattern.
Skip did break his pattern. So we hope.
Yes.
I do think this is the official last time we see him. Well, I don't think we ever see him ever again.
That's the perfect way for his character to exit the series. If he never comes back again, I'm totally okay with that. I'll miss him, but he did it right. That was that's the best mic drop exit I've ever seen.
His arc is complete. He is different in his journey than he was at the beginning of his part in the story. That is good storytelling, theoretically.
Yes. and I like the idea too, at least in my mind, I feel like that moment where he saw Miranda and like rejected her like that, I feel like he's gonna have a happy ending because of like now he knows what, you know what I mean, like the kind of women to stay away from.
Yeah. And Miranda only, like we were saying, Miranda only got into it because he was being a jerk to her.
Right. After she says everything you need to say. Like clearly therapy's not working out for old Miranda.
I know, right? All her multiple sessions of therapy, she's not taking to heart.
I don't think she's either just, I feel like she must not be listed. Like, or either that or she's like talking about other things. This that lets you know, because again, even the guy that she was dating, that fucking angry lawyer type, like you shouldn't want somebody that like is that controlling and demanding and that like has to like I said, handle you. That's not, it's not healthy. That's all I'm saying.
Well, so circling back to so Skipper is complaining about his situation to Carrie, and this is when we do see Miranda properly break up with Skipper,
right?
But it's in the like
I'm going to give her credit. I feel like she's the kind of person that would do it over a voicemail, and the fact that they actually met face to face and she broke up with him still hurts, but I respect that more than like if she sent them an email, because I feel like she would also do that.
Yeah. So from there though, Miranda is with the guy we've mentioned several times now, just a complete flaming asshole guy of a lawyer. He's like belittling to her, the like thing they go and see, just fucking ordering her around. It's like again kind of it's gonna tip into an abusive situation.
Oh yeah, within 6 months,
crazy fast.
Within 6 months if they stay together, absolutely.
And the only reason she's with him though, she likes that he orders her around in the bedroom, like 50 Shades style. That's a problem.
Oh man, here's the thing too. That's such like a stereotypical thing of Miranda, or because like that's kind of the stereotype. It's like these boss ass women who like go around the CEOs and they're making decisions all day, bang bang bang. Then they get home and like the first thing they want to do is like be submissive to a man, and that's exactly the stereotype that she's playing into. You know? What I mean?
Well, there is such a thing as like decision fatigue, and like when you get home, you do like want someone else to take care of shit.
That's true. That is
especially if you are on like a high power, high pressure thing. Like I read ages ago, presidents, and it was like Barack Obama at the time, wore more or less the same suit outfit every day, and it turned out it was like they pre-planned that because it's like one less thing you just have to fucking decide. And that guy's making decisions all goddamn day,
Yeah. So, that's true. That's fair.
It's fair to want a partner to handle some of the load, which is why it's so unfair that most of the time women do have high-powered jobs, but then also have to come home and worry about housekeeping, childcare, and not enough dudes are stepping up. It's getting better, but very, 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 very slowly.
Yeah, I feel that.
So we meet the jerk guy, and then we get to, this is a big Miranda episode, because this is also when they get to the park. I have to bring this up.
Wait, before we do that, I just wanted to say, I was fucking with Skip because he was saying that women somehow pick like the perfect moment to strike with a breakup and like hurt you the most. I fucking believe that. I 100% believe that. Every girl that's ever broken up with me is like they waited to like that precise moment where like I really fell for them hard, and then they were just like, oh yeah, this is actually not gonna work out. It's almost as if they were doing that just like they were like, he's not in love with me yet, can't break up with him. But as soon as he falls, got his ass. I'm gonna fuck him up.
Oh no.
Y'all do that, man. Girls have that way of just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I can say I haven't done that to anyone, I hope. So not that I know.
Here's the thing. If you broke it up with somebody, you probably did. You just didn't know that it was, they probably didn't let you know the time that it got to them.
Well, I've actually only been dumped, come to think of it. So
okay, then maybe you'd have done it.
Unless you count, and now we never dated, but this actually, I was on like a volleyball team thing.
Okay.
And there was this guy who's a little younger than me on the team, and everybody was friendly and got along, but he would really, like, I'm not the best athlete, as we've established from previous episodes, but I'm not bad at volleyball. I'm okay at volleyball, and I kind of like it. Okay. But he would dart in front of me for every hit and take like the hit that I was supposed to do, to the point that like the opposite team was like, she had that. Like, it wasn't even my teammates sticking up for me, it's the opposite team.
That's fucking hilarious.
And I was like really annoyed by that. And then sometime later, after like the like little league had ended or whatnot, I got a message from him on Facebook, and we were chit-chatting, and then he like confessed that he was madly in love, really liked me, blah 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 blah, like on, and I felt so bad because I did not feel the same way at all. And it was like,
wait, you sure it wasn't like your hate was masking the love? Because like sometimes
mine wasn't, because I was like, all I want to do is hit this fucking volleyball, and this little shit isn't letting me do it. What the fuck? And I thought he was like, I'm several years younger, like in his earlier 20s, and I was in my like late 20s, which is not a huge age gap, but it felt it felt significant, a maturity thing at the time, for sure. And I was like I just wanted to come play some fucking volleyball on like a Saturday morning, and you go to like the bar afterward. It's one of those like leagues. I can't even like get a bounce in on this fucking volleyball. This kid keeps running in front of me. And like his mom came to a game. Like, this is kind of how young he was. Yeah. Like he lived in the area or whatever. Or was from here, but yeah. And so I just I was like, I'm really sorry. I don't feel the same. So I guess I did strike at least one person right when they confessed their
that don't count. That don't count.
But like I said, we didn't actually date.
Y'all didn't date. It's not y'all didn't date, and there was nothing that you did. Like you didn't like.
Right.
You didn't like purposefully make him fall in love with. Like, you were just being you, and he fell for you. That's not your fault. You can't do anything like that. But these women that got to skip, they like, they like made, they probably knew in the back of their minds they weren't feeling it, but they went ahead and did it anyway. And then like the stakes got too high, and that's when they're like, oh, I need more time for my career, or I need to spend some time alone. It's like, because usually I see most women that say that they end up dating somebody shortly after, right? Like, oh, okay, that's what you okay. Or I say most women, most people that say that, like, oh, I just want to, I really want to be alone right now. Like, usually they end up starting to date somebody like within the next couple months, and then you're like, oh, okay, you're full of shit. Gotcha.
You wanted to be alone with someone else.
Gotcha. Cool.
So they get to the picnic, and like I said, this is the scene I need to talk about.
Oh, please, there's a lot of delusion going on in this episode.
Well, not just with the characters.
Yeah,
we gotta talk to fashion here for a hot minute, because this is a notorious episode for Miranda's outfit in this picnic scene, where she's wearing kind of like the windbreaker hoodie with the hood up and like a bucket hat over top. It is the most unflattering. I don't know who she pissed off that day that was like, you know what? fuck you, wear this. It's the worst. It's so been bad. Voted multiple times over the worst outfit on the series, like of all the like retrospectives of like and there will be weirder or tackier, stranger outfits, but this is just like hands down the worst outfit they've ever put any of those women in, and for no good reason at all. There's no logic to it. It's just the worst thing I've ever seen.
I thought maybe the costume designer was like maybe listen to a lot of Run DMC and like, Miranda has a good head shape for a bucket hat. I don't know.
No,
or maybe she was going through her thing. You remember the few episodes back when she was rocking the overalls like 99% of the time. Maybe they like maybe they're trying to subliminally say that's what she's going through right now.
When they rank them, this outfit's number 1 is worst. The fucking overall outfit is number 2. Almost every time does that fail.
Oh, it has to be. Or maybe this is like the outfit that she has to wear to like not piss off the dude she's dating. Maybe that's like some
Handmaid's Tale shit.
Yeah, like maybe there's like some kind of subtle way to show how like she's being controlled, because that's not how she usually dresses. So like her outfits always show like what kind of the current state that she's in, like during the breakup or when she's like in some kind of turmoil. There's like an outfit that kind of
I don't think anyone's really brought that up as a consideration within the episode. It's mostly just like, geez, look at that. Holy crap.
But, because like, here's the thing. As much as I don't like her character, I also, want to give her the benefit of the doubt. And because like I said, I don't feel like that character would pick that outfit out. So it has to be like some kind of message, or like some liminal message for the writers, for the audience to know that she's like not in her element. She's not being Miranda right now. You know what I'm saying? The guy that she's dating, how he's like angry and blah, blah, blah. And of course, Charlotte's naive ass chimes in like, oh, maybe he will just be nicer, like, once he gets promoted and everything.
No, well, it's not Charlotte saying. Miranda keeps saying the whole episode, he'll be nicer once he knows he's made partner, once he gets the promotion.
Right.
And it's that Samantha's like, if he's this shitty to you, just limit it to sex. And Charlotte's the one who's like, oh, you can't do that.
Right.
But I'm like, Miranda's like red flag everywhere, like making excuses for this guy who is like undoubtedly at some point gonna take a swing at her.
And that's what you're saying too, when you were saying like it was borderline abuse. I think in that moment that she said that made it abuse, because the fact that she had to like kind of justify why she's still in that, knowing that it's all kinds of wrong, that's usually the first sign of her step abuse, is the denial of the abuse that is happening to you. So when she said that made the line abuse.
But so they bring up patterns, and Miranda says her dating jerks is not a pattern, she dated Skipper, therefore it's not a pattern, but they're like, that's an anomaly. And Samantha of course doesn't have a pattern. At the picnic though, also the girls call out Charlotte finally about her goddamn patterns that we've been saying this whole time. And they say she always looks for the perfect guy and puts all this projection on him, and then it blows up in her face. They do leave out the part that she picks absolute freaks every time, but
technically they pick her because they've been asking her out, because remember the advice that she gets at the end of this meeting is to ask out a man and try that signs, which I have to agree with. I think if more women asked out more men, dating would be a little bit more like
egalitarian.
It'd be even, you know what I mean? Because like for the most part, the social
pressure
norm is like it's for the guy to ask the girl out and blah blah blah, which infers that like only women are the prize in the relationship, so we have to go and get them. But like we both can be prizes. So like also too, I think it's kind of shitty that women like get pissed off at like finding a piece of shit guy, but it's like maybe if you went out there and picked him, you could take some of the responsibility off of our shoulders and put it on yours, and then you can find maybe the writer guy. Like if that's the guy you're interested in, go and get him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the advice isn't to just ask out any one guy. Samantha's like date a few guys at once. I forgot about that. We got to multitask, and that way you don't waste time like Carrie did on Big. And Carrie thinks she'll like know what to expect next time she runs into another 43-year-old businessman. And so then go ahead. We get to her, ask, are we doing to repeat ourselves? And then we get more Man on the Streets. I was like, this is like a season 1 episode, man. This was Skipper was back, the Man on the Streets were back. Like,
okay, let me ask you this. since we are getting into the man on the street,
Mhm.
since this is the question, do you have a pattern?
Yeah, I crush on
Ooh,
people really hard,
okay.
don't do anything about it, and then just let it eat away inside me.
That was sadly funny.
And true.
It's,
Yeah. Or
yeah, I know how you feel though.
more accurately, on dating apps, I will get stuck in like a fun texting chain, but then neither one of us will commit to like just saying like let's go meet at such and such time and place.
Mm-hmm.
And that's annoying. I'm trying to like break that because that's a little easier to break as far as like, you know, whatever. But I've done it. It's gone both ways because I've had like some interest with some chit chat going back and forth on an app recently, but then I kind of, I don't know, lose interest, and because the chit chat hasn't been great. I've had better chit chat that led to a date. This is a little more like, what are you doing? Oh yeah, this and that. Well, what about you? Oh, this and that. Okay, like no, no joking, no like deeper questions, like so it's a little rough. Like I went out of town and knew I'd be busy with work and told the one guy that, and then I got back and kind of opened it and looked at it and I was like, I fucking feel like doing this. Then he didn't follow up any further with me either, though. So it went both ways.
Yeah. You know, I'm not gonna lie. It sounds not like that. That sounds exhausting. That makes me I think you just argued again against dating apps. I've been thinking about maybe trying to get back on them, but now I'm like, nah, I'm good.
I'm telling you, I want a fucking matchmaker. Give me a fucking Yenta who's got like done all the profile legwork and just says you're meeting him at such a time and place and on like a first date, and just get all that fucking legwork out of the way. I can't do this anymore. I need someone to do it for me.
I feel that though.
Matchmaking.
Do I have a pattern? Okay, so there's one that
yes, if you ask the TMI team, it's white girls. I could cut that out. Apparently, if you want.
No, that's hilarious. Leave it in. That's fine. That's totally fine. You're not entirely wrong. I don't know if that's my pattern, but that does seem to be the like. I would say like 80% of my dating pool has come from that genre. But I don't know if that's my power. So I've been told that one of my patterns is like any girl that's ever cooked for me ends up like they end up not surviving the relationship. I don't know if that's true. This came from an old roommate of mine. He was like, yeah, every girl that's come over here that's cooked for you, I like right after they cook for you, I like never see them again.
That's usually a deal sealer. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's what I was like. I was like, that's not true. He's like, and he like
you're gonna want to explore that.
I need to. But you know what though? Maybe because like you said, that's a deal closer. So maybe that's why I ran away.
You're like, oh shit, she's cooking for me. Right.
Cooking for me. I mean, she loves me. Yeah. Abort. No, I like. I mean, I guess I don't know. I feel like my pattern is. This sounds oddly sexist, but I'm not trying to be. I think my pattern is that girls with daddy issues.
Oh, I mean, look, the professional TV host I work with makes that joke almost every day on our show. And sometimes we leave it in, sometimes we cut it out. I'm going to leave it here because it's not the end of the world if anyone hears that.
But here's the thing.
Fully acknowledges that.
Yeah, it's not all girls too that have like daddy issues. Like the dad wasn't there. Or he was like a shitty dad. Some of them have daddy issues because their dad was like an awesome dad. And like they didn't know how to like navigate that. So it's just been weird. I don't know. It's all so weird. Well, and also, I think I date a lot of girls that like, especially because you're in this entertainment business, shit like that. They like the idea of you, and then they date you for a few months and realize like how busy you are and how like of a grind it is, and then they're like, oh wait, this doesn't really work for me, and that's usually kind of what happens after that too.
That's why I'm always like, if I meet someone, they gotta like understand the grind I'm on with work and how much I work, because I would hope they're kind of the same. Like I don't want both of us just to be exhausted at the end of the day, but like they're like an actor or director or something like that, where like we're all putting in long days, and then we can come together in the evening and be like, yes, etc.
Yeah, that's yeah, I don't know, but that's, I don't know, those are the patterns I think that I have. I'm not sure if that's, I don't know about the cooking one. I'm not 100% sure on. Like,
that was really fascinating though.
He just made here's the thing, he made a really great argument for it, but I'm still not on board with that being fact. I feel like he's just, it just feel like that's just like coincidence.
Correlation is not causation, as they say, which is a true thing.
But again, every girl that I've dated out here that has cooked for me, we are no longer together. Every girl in the city, there's one girl I'm sort of seeing right now. She's already cooked for me, and I'm like, she's cooked for me twice. I'm like, oh no,
she's on thin ice.
She's about to fall through the ice, baby. It's over.
Tighten those skates, girl. It's coming.
Move over, Jack. I'm the only one on this fucking door. Oh man.
My lord. Oh my god.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, the man on the streets were okay. Although I do like the teen boy that's like, I don't like date girls with PlayStations or boobs. Which was such a perfect teen boy answer. Because let me tell you,
at 14, that was probably my criteria.
Tight race.
Does she like video games? Does she have boobs? That's pretty much all I need. If she likes video games even a little bit, even if she's pretending she liked it, she's got boobs. We're good. We're in there.
The number of girls, and myself included, I wasn't like trying to date, but like the neighbor boys I grew up with, I like to play video games to a point, but then sometimes it did end up just being like I'd go over and watch them play, and it's the most mind-numbing thing in the world. And I've read a lot. I think it's gotten better, but there were a lot of girls who wasted a lot of time watching boyfriends play video games.
100%.
And it's like, don't do that. If they just, I get it, they want to play it, that's fine. I actually just was reading an advice column thing today, and the woman said, the husband's perfect, we love each other, we get along, all is well. The only thing I don't like is that he plays video games for about 20 hours a week. And she's like, I just think that time would be better spent reading or watching TV with me or blah, blah, blah. And then all the advice was like, bitch, get your own hobby. That's his hobby. Let him fucking play.
Right. Yeah, like, and also 20 hours is very low.
20 hours is low.
Super low. It's like that's less like 4 hours a day, which for five, if you do five. Yeah, so that's 4 hours a day. That's not a lot.
Or like a longer session on the weekends and a little bit in the evening after.
But even still, like, so if you round it up to what, 35 because of the weekends, that's not crazy.
I wasn't even rounding up. I was counting 20.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and even with that, if you count the 20 into a 7-day week, that's nothing. That's nothing. He's not even a real gamer. That's like barely paying like an hour and a half a night. That's like a relaxation thing. Because I knew a lot of guys that like play like a couple, like they'll play like basketball game. They'll play a few games before they go to bed, and then like that's how they relax for the night. So
they were like
super low.
They're like, get your own fucking hobby, and like
in that case, yes, for 20 hours a week.
Yeah, no, there's a line. As with all hobbies, there's a line.
Now, if you were saying 80 hours a week and he ain't like making money out playing those video games,
that's a problem.
That's a problem.
But like this was just like, I want us to be together all the time, and he has one thing he wants to do that I don't like to do, and I'm not going to let him do it. And everyone's like, whoa, crazy. Like, go like fucking learn knitting. And I don't mean that in a sexist way.
Which is insane.
I just mean learn a fucking hobby.
Yeah, get a hobby
to occupy your time.
Yeah, that's insane, because now you're like you're making yourself more angry, or giving yourself a reason to be angry at him when you don't have to be.
Right, when there's no reason to be.
Yeah, like the when he's playing video games, go for a fucking light walk or something. I don't know, like
occupy your time otherwise.
Yeah, go make candles. What are you doing?
get a life.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so Ben Carey decides
to date Mayhem.
Yes. Mayhem. As soon as I heard his voice, I was like, "Is that Mayhem dude?"
He's also, I love him on 30 Rock. His Dennis Duffy, and hey dummy, like that's the first thing I heard when he started talking.
Oh yeah, he does look a little different. Like, I don't know, like to me personally, I think he got handsomer as he got older, because he did. Because like looking at him in this episode, I was like,
Yeah, he's almost like kind of not like thinner, ganglier or something. There's
something. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, like it's
the,
like his bones haven't set in his face, right? You know what I mean? It's like, is he still growing? Like, what was he like 19 on this motherfucker? Like what?
So Dean Winters is that actor's actual
Dean
name.
Winters. Yes.
But yeah, I love the Mayhem guy.
Okay.
So
now let me ask you this. I have another question because so essentially she starts dating this guy. He's not even really he's not an ex really. Like maybe they dated a little bit. I think it's kind of implied that maybe they tried dating once.
Sort of, but he is most assuredly, as the title of the episode is, her fuck buddy.
Fuck buddy. Yeah. Correct. But he also seems to be like the rebound friend. You know what I mean? Like for when they were, because she said after every major relationship, she always seems to call him up. Now I have a question for you.
Yes.
Have you done this?
No, because I haven't. I'm not like a fuck buddy type of person. That's not my thing. And I haven't had like enough relationships to establish that kind of pattern where there's someone I try to run back to. So no, I have not done this, and I probably never will at this rate. So
second question. Have you been this?
I don't think so. I think I have been an ego boost for a person, but not like after every relationship kind of thing. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Yeah. What about yourself?
I've never had a I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had like a rebound friend, but I definitely know that I've definitely been the rebound friend for a couple people, for sure. One that let me know. Second one I kind of just picked up on because like, you know, again, when like you're going from like hanging out with a person, doing your thing, and then like they disappear for like 3-4 weeks, 2 months at a time, and then all of a sudden, hey, what have you been up to? I'm like, I know what's up. I know what this is. After like basically after every like if they break up with somebody, I was the one they called. So the same pattern. Yeah. So I've definitely been that. I don't think I've ever done that. I mean,
did it bother
I've had rebound sex?
Because it doesnn't seem to bother this guy at all. I mean, he doesn't even seem to notice. He's just like happy to have sex with her.
Yeah, because it does. It didn't. One of them did. One of them didn't. One of them did because I actually liked the girl and I had liked her for a long time, and like, you know, even though like we never got together, we never dated, we just kind of ran the same circle. So I saw her often, and I was at a thing for her, but it never really got further than the hookup. So that one hurt. The ones that I didn't, the girls I didn't like, nah, it doesn't hurt because just like you know, in essence, you're getting all the benefits of the relationship and none of the hassle of it. So it's just, and it as long as they're happy, you don't feel guilty about it. But the second it gets weird, that's when it's something else. Yeah. In this episode, that happens because Carrie decides that she doesn't want to just have a fuck buddy anymore. She wants to like see if she can, you know, really date him. And clearly
it's a terrible date.
It's a terrible date.
So
it's
bad.
The awkwardest date I've ever seen on television.
Oh my
so
Lord.
Bad. And
who doesn't fucking like sushi? I'm gonna like order sushi.
That's red flag already. That's red flag number one. You don't like sushi? Get out.
I mean, I guess I get some people not liking it.
Nah, fuck that. That's a red flag for me. That's a red flag. And squeezing toothpaste from the side instead of from the bottom. That's a red flag. I don't care what anybody says. Do you do that? Do you squeeze it from the side? Or are you a bottom up?
I try. Like I kind of
side squeezer.
Go middle.
I can see your line.
No, I don't do side, but if you're holding it for our YouTube viewers, if you're holding it in your hand, I kind of just squeeze top to bottom. That makes sense.
That's okay. I know that's fine. That's fine. That's not a red flag.
I don't
it's a pink flag. It's a pink flag. It's still a problem.
When you say
I can get past it.
Squeeze from the side, you mean like grip it in your hand?
Yeah, squeeze,
no.
Like yes.
I don't do that. I do like the inverse of that.
That's fine.
But I don't go from the bottom.
That's fine.
Until it's time to.
That's what I'm saying. That's because that's still you can still maximize the toothpaste gettage. Right. So like I said, that's a pink flag, not a red flag. Red flag is squeezing that shit like you're fucking goddamn G.I. Joe with a couple grip trying to get the shit out. Because here's the thing, it just fucks up the tube, and there's so much toothpaste left in there. You're like throwing away literally like half a tube of toothpaste every time. You're like, oh, this is done. It's not done. You squeeze it from the bottom, you goddamn ape.
Also, you don't need to use as much as they show in the commercials.
Dude. Oh, the commercials, they be ODing on the fucking toothpaste. It's like they just covered the whole damn toothbrush with the toothpaste. It's like, Jesus, take it easy. They like brush and handle. You need all this in your mouth. Oh man. Yeah, so she tries to now. Well, I guess you can't really answer this, but I'm gonna ask anyway.
Sure.
Judging off of this, I guess for you, do you think you can date a fuck buddy? Or do you think a fuck buddy can turn into like a boyfriend? I guess.
I feel like I've heard about people trying and like kind of often failing with that. So I think it's hard to do, because I think if you're coming together that often or however often you do it, no one's committing and no one wants to, because I feel like if you do it together enough times, you either want to be with that person full time or you don't. So I don't think you can really.
Yeah, again, I'm like you. I've heard of people that got together after it, but usually those people, like, I think the longest amount of time I've heard of like a fuck buddy becoming a relationship was like a year.
Yeah.
Usually, like that's like the longest they last.
Yeah.
So I don't think that is possible, because like once you establish that kind of a relationship where like, especially in a guy's mind, like if that's what you establish, and like,
yeah,
because like that, again, especially a guy like that's single out there, like not really trying to settle down, like they can get into the, like once they get to that established pattern, it's like, oh, I don't gotta be your boyfriend, I can just come over and drop this D off and then I can leave. Like trying to get them to be your boyfriend they're gonna be like, whoa, what is,
it's gonna be like pulling teeth. There's no,
like what is this? Like this is crazy. And vice versa too. Women are the same. Like I think if they enjoy that same pattern too, like come get some, leave. Like
it's very hard to break patterns, and once and things like that, once you've kind of set the whatever the pattern is, it's gonna be hard to deviate from it. So I just don't think
it's possible, but I don't know if
it's very rare.
It's possible to try it, but I don't know if it works out. You know what I mean? Like I can understand if you were like just friends for years and never got together and then end up getting together, that's different. But like once you become like sexually intimate and you're doing that on a regular, and like you set up these boundaries and shit like that where you get that you don't cross, like that's a lot of walls to break through to try to get to a romance spot. So I just it's just too complicated if you ask me.
Yeah, for sure. But so their date goes poorly and then they don't stay together even as fuck buddies, but I mean, oh well. You know what, I was actually proud of Carrie, thank you, couldn't think of a damn name. I was like proud of Carrie for that moment, because she kind of knew. She was like, I never, she's like, I knew at that moment I wouldn't see him again. I was like, all right, cool, she's not completely delusional, like she knew what was up, and she knew that, I mean, at the end of the day, I think she realized that this guy was literally just like a rebound. Like she's still reeling over the things that happened between her and Big. I mean, literally the last episode, that's all she could talk about. You know, until her friends were like, shut the fuck up. And she was only marginally better in this episode, but she was also still letting it affect her, because she mentions throughout the episode like part of her pattern post breakup, especially with him, is like staying out all night, sleeping till noon, eating crap,
Chinese food,
you know, and just being like a general mess, and not like really pulling it together. And this is one positive way to break it, is knowing that she does this and stop doing it, but then she's like, I'm still doing the other shit, and you know, it's hard to break that.
I think, I mean, other than like, I guess, health issues from eating a bunch of shitty Chinese food, like that's probably the more safer pattern. Is to like, you know,
for sure,
go out with your friends, get your mind off of it, eat some crappy food, it makes you feel good, blah blah blah. But like, hooking up with somebody that like trying to date a fuck buddy, that's definitely not the way to get over a relationship. That's definitely not the way to cope with a relationship either. Hell no. That's super toxic. So we talked about Miranda.
Well, yeah. So yeah, I just want to bring up like
Oh
after
yes,
some of this,
please.
Miranda's she invites the jerk guy to like brunch with them to introduce them, and he's a huge piece of shit there.
First of all, dick move on her. Why would you put your friends through there? Like we gotta go down with the ship together. Why does he have?
Yeah.
Why would you even want like? I know that like we as social human beings, especially women, like to get the approval of their friends when they date somebody. But come on.
Yeah.
Come on. This guy, you knew that they weren't gonna like him. Even Samantha doesn't like him, and she's like the rawest bitch on the planet. Like you know what I'm saying? Like she could be obnoxious or whatnot and shit like that, but like she was like, no, this dude gotta go.
And he's like yelling at the waitress and like and he like goes to the bathroom and the waitress brings the drink and like Miranda's like, it's wet on the glass. I don't want him to yell at the waitress. I was like, geez, it's a huge red flag.
Second sign that the relationship is abusive. It's not, he's not just a controlling guy, or he's not just like an angry guy. He's clearly an abusive guy. Because the fact that she knew he would possibly freak out because a little bit of his beer got spilled on the table, and she's like panicking to clean it up.
Yeah.
In front of her friends and shit like that, like that's an abused woman. If I saw that as a friend, I'd be like, is he hitting you? Because you shouldn't be that scared of a little bit of beer. Yeah. I would be calling the cops right now, but like, let's go get you tested for abuse.
And then they finally break up because he does make partner and he's still a raging asshole after the fact, and that finally like breaks Miranda and makes her realize like, wait, this is never going to change. But good Lord, thank God she got out. I pity the next person who tries to be with him.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Both those people need therapy. Miranda needs it, and so does that guy, because clearly he's got some shit. Because here's the thing: he had the personality of an angry drunk, and he didn't even really drink. Which is that's not a good thing. Like you shouldn't have that level of like anger. So that's way too much stress. Like, and also too, like at least he picked the perfect job, I guess, for that anger. Because I don't know any other place that would take.
I mean, I wouldn't want him teaching kindergarten for Christ's sake. My God.
I don't even know if I would put him in the military. He might fuck around like kill a soldier. Be like,
right? You don't know. But then we get to Charlotte, who follows the advice to do multiple dates in one night, and wouldn't you know it,
overbooks.
It blows up in her fucking face.
Oh, of course. Which is funny because Charlotte, of all the guys she dated, she kind of turned out to be the freak in this episode because she was, tried something that she knows she can't pull off.
Yeah. Fun fact: the second guy that she's walking home with, and then they see the first guy, and they both get mad at her and leave. So the second guy used to also host the Insider where I used to work. Super nice guy, great to work with. Awesome. I think he is back in Florida doing like entertainment reporting there. I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's super nice guy. And we did some piece where we did bring up that he had been on the show. It was just kind of like a funny, like, oh yeah, you're in like 30 seconds of Sex in the City. How funny.
Hey, listen, that's more credits to me, my niggas. I'm proud of you, sir. Those 2 lines you had, fantastic. Wherever you are. That was well, okay. She probably could have pulled it off if she didn't lie. Like, why?
Right. If she had just said, I have somewhere else to be.
Right.
At X time. Yeah. Like, rather than try to be like, oh, I think let me see how it plays out. If she's just that committed to the idea of like, I'm, or just don't do 2 in one night. It's really just the easiest option out of all of them.
I'm not gonna here's the thing. As far as like her dating multiple people, like that's cool. Like do your thing, you know what I'm saying? But like also don't double book on the same night. Like you can't have a dinner at 7 and be like, oh, I'm gonna meet you at 9. No, bro. Like what if the date goes well, which it clearly did because she was late for the second date. So you just never double book. That's a rookie.
It went so well he tried to like bring her soup because he thought she was that sick.
Right.
Like that's a good dude. Like, oh, holy crap! Like, well, that's maybe nice. Not.
I don't know.
Or psycho. We don't know.
That's the part I was gonna get on because I was like, look, y'all only had 1 date, and she said she was sick. You don't bring.
How do you get her address? I mean, she must have given it to him, but still.
Also, why did? Oh, I mean, okay, because he probably came and picked her up. So I'm like, that's probably. I'm not gonna say that he stalked her. He probably came.
Different time, different time.
That's well, that's Charlotte's cup of tea. Like, guy's got to be like an old school traditional gentleman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though it's bullshit because she doesn't want to be a traditional girl, even though she pretends she does because she doesn't.
She's a big freak.
She's a liar. She's a liar. She's a liar. Anyway, but the fact is, like, first date, you don't bring somebody suit if they say that they're sick or whatever. Like, you don't do that. I'm sorry. That's he wouldn't have saw what he saw if he wasn't being extra.
A little much, yeah.
I mean, I know he's like a yoga instructor and he's like peace with every, like, cool, do that. Meditate about it. You don't bring a girl suit after a first date. That's not a thing. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I mean, I know there wasn't a time, but if anything, you probably could. No, you can do that. Then, like, if anything, if you are worried about her being sick, you already got her address. You send her a delivery of soup. You don't bring it yourself. You send her the delivery of soup, and then be like, hey, call her, be like, hey, I sent you some soup. I hope you feel better. Have a good night. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't go to her house with soup, bro. That's fucking weird. And you kind of kicked your own self in the balls. Yeah. I found that kind of weird. But same token, you don't double book. You don't double book on one night. Yeah. So, just in case the nigga want to bring you soup after the first date.
Or just like, or if you're gonna double book, leave a much bigger window of time. Like, you can't do a date at 7 and 9. There's just, you can't.
Right. Like, if you're gonna double book, have like dinner at 9, and then since you already had dinner, go meet the next guy for like a couple of drinks or something like that.
Or like do a lunch date and like,
right. Yeah. Well, here's the problem.
Because they have so much free time on the show. That's why I'm thinking.
They really do. Well, I know Charlotte definitely has free time like that to build a lunch date. But here's the problem with lunch. Lunch can mean platonic. So you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so if she's trying to date both these guys romantically, you don't want to do a lunch date. Maybe do like a brunch date, because brunch is still technically romantic.
Yeah.
But lunch is definitely that's 50-50. It could be romantic, but most times it's not. And that's usually lunch is, as you can see in this episode of montages, apparently that's when women like to break up.
It's a bad place to be.
That's apparently where women like to break up with people. So, she'd be like, hey, let's have lunch. She'd be like, oh boy.
I did dump, quote unquote, that guy of her Facebook Messenger in the middle of the day. So there's that.
Oh my God. Oh no, Elizabeth.
So insane.
I knew it. I knew you were out here playing these guys' hearts. I knew you were out here. I knew you were secretly. You were a Charlotte. You're out here pretending that you're a one man gal, but you out here slanging out here, breaking hearts all over the place. I know.
Yep, that's me. You caught me. The Heartbreak Bandit.
First of all, Heartbreak Bandit sounds like a future Kanye West album. That's all I'm gonna say.
I want some of that money, but I don't want to have to wear the GIMP mask like Kim did in public. I just want some cash for the name.
Hey, to be fair, the GIMP mask was bedazzled, so with real
I love
diamonds.
that you fucking carried those
with real diamonds.
Oh my God. We don't have time to get into that. We do have, but speaking of freaks, Samantha and her neighbors.
Okay.
Such a dumb plot for her, but it's funny.
It is a dumb plot, but like, it was so her.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel like she would, because like, she's not dating anybody. She's like between dudes right now.
Between dudes.
She hears somebody like getting it on. It's annoying. Then one night, it's kind of not annoying, and you pleasure yourself to it. I've never done this, but I
have not either, because I've always been like, oh God, they're doing what? Like, oh, they're so loud.
Yeah.
But I do like so when she starts to get into it, and it's at the same time every night, that like at one point she's like smoking a blunt and like ready to, and like drinking and like super relaxed. Like, ooh, I wrote that down. I wish I was that relaxed in life.
She had a ritual. She was smoking a J. She had a little whiskey on her. She was like, oh, I'm about to.
She was like, let me flex these and go down. She was ready.
I'm not gonna lie. Let me tell you something. That combination of a little bit of whiskey and a little bit of weed does great for an orgasm. So this is a girl who knows what the fuck she's doing. And I was very turned on by her on that scene. I was like, oh, she knows how to have a good time.
Yeah. And then I love that she asks the janitor if he knows the neighbors. It's like, probably not. He's just cleaning the building. He probably doesn't give a shit.
I don't know. I think he barely understood like what she was saying.
That was part of the joke, was that he said they're a musician and a dancer, and she took that as like a hot young couple. Right. And then she went next door and it was like an older like Eastern European couple.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I thought she was gonna be like, fuck it.
Right? I mean,
I thought she was gonna be like, fuck it. I masturbated to you at least 2 times.
Yeah.
Let's do it. But she's second. No thanks. Which also is very much in line with her. So either one, if she just said yes to it or no, I'd have been like, that's a Samantha thing, because either one could happen with her.
Yeah, it's a real crapshoot with that one.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would have made for a better ending if she just went with it, because that would have been the greatest like next episode lunch day conversation.
There's no consequences on the show, or hardly any.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm surprised that they didn't like go that route.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But also, I also get it, because like, not to be mean, but they definitely picked like the right actors of like non-attractive lookingness to like, I was like, okay, I don't know if I could be like, fuck it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And they just didn't line up to what she was fantasizing.
Yeah. I mean, she's probably picturing like, have you been watching Sex Life?
No, but I have seen that scene.
Okay, so I think that's what she was picturing, is like that guy, ripped muscles, possibly Australian, and then a hot 40-year-old woman.
We did a story about that at work, and we had to pull that clip, and I hadn't seen it, and my boss had to ask me to pull it.
Yeah.
And then he like heard me yell from across the office, "Oh my God!" He's like, "I'm sorry, I'm not a pervert. This is just like, it's one of the most talked about things, so of course we're covering it."
Bro,
and then we showed it on set though, unblurred, to our hosts, and they were like, "Oh my God."
Which is, I felt so bad for her husband after that scene.
That's the funniest part of that scene, is when he turns back around like, holy shit. Yeah. Like, what am I? No wonder she's fucking that guy. Like,
yeah.
Leaving a double sex life or whatever the fuck of this show's about.
Which, I was talking to me and my friend, we were watching that, and she was like, I was like, man, I feel so bad for her. She's like, why? I was like, do you not understand how much a penis is important to a man? And here's the thing, we are all, like, most men are mature enough to know that our woman has been with more than just us. Right. We're aware of that. But we don't want to know that this dick was bigger than ours by a mile?
That's like,
come on. And you're still fantasizing about it? I'd have killed myself that night. What are you talking about? I'd have walked butt naked into traffic hoping somebody ran me the fuck over.
And it's so weird. It's so big.
It was that fucking
so big.
That was like that Mark Wahlberg moment.
It was,
Boogie Nights. It's just like, pow, here's your piece.
Yeah. There's been debate over whether or not it's real, and I think it's fake.
Fuck it. Listen.
Yeah. I mean,
if it is fake, hey, whatever. If it's real, good God, man, that has to be a miserable life. I don't think anybody wants a dick that big. That seems like more hassle than anything.
I don't know. I feel like somewhere the joke came up. Did I make it? Did somebody else make it? The joke though is, oh God, I hope he's not a shower and a grower, because holy shit, fucking rip you in half.
Well, that's also very like old school Hollywood. It's like, I gotta show my junk, put a prosthetic on it.
Yeah.
I gotta have a big. Yeah, that's also a very guy thing. So
right,
it makes all the sense. It's that shows intense. I think though, I don't know if you'll like it. It's a very toxic shit. Like,
look,
lead is very like off-putting for women. And
I watched that movie 365 Days or whatever.
Okay.
As a joke. No, it wasn't going to be good, and I know it is not the same, but that's the vibe I got from the trailer. Is it a foreign show?
No.
Why does everybody look like they're fucking dubbed in it though?
No, as far as I know, the only person that's from another country is the fantasy guy,
the dick guy, yeah,
the fantasy guy, and I think she might be from Canada.
I also, when I first watched the trailer, couldn't tell if it was because like there was a shot of the husband like looking at a laptop. I was like, is she writing like an erotic novel?
No,
and,
so
like,
she's right. It's
lost in it.
No. She's right. Well, first of all, husband. We can't.
You know what? This is we're wasting so much time. Sorry. Anyway, Sex in the City.
It's not a novel. It's a journal, which her husband's been violating by reading without her permission. So that's all. And I have my own opinion about that, but we don't have time. Yeah, we'll move on.
That'll be our next major series. Is I'll watch.
Maybe we should.
I'll finally watch Sex Life and have context for why there was a big floppy penis everywhere.
You don't really need context. It didn't need,
I really didn't. I saw it and like screamed, and then that was about it.
It did. Like it didn't need to exist because like who's trying to see that, but it did need to exist because it kind of hammers home like the inadequacy that this guy's been feeling. Literally, by showing him the hammer, that hammered home his inadequacy.
Anyway, I think that was everything for Sex Life. What about Sex in the City?
Yeah, that's it. That's everything.
I think we covered
Samantha pleasured herself. Charlotte got not in the way. I don't know how to really say it, but she basically got what was coming to her again. Miranda and we got the same thing.
And we got closure with Skip.
That's
what we needed.
Listen. If nothing else you'll get from this episode, 1, learn your patterns and try to avoid them, or not try to fall into them again.
Yeah.
2, when you do it, stick with it. All right. Don't just discover your pattern and then don't just like one time. You got to stick with that shit because you got to form new behavior. And the third thing, my man Skip went out on top.
For Skipper.
For Skipper, baby.
For Skipper.
For Skipper.
Chris, where can they find you on the internet?
They can find me on the internet on Twitter and on Instagram at Mack Diddy Combs, MackDiddyCombs. Where you at, girl?
I'm at Elizabeth Movies on Twitter and Instagram, and you can find the show information at the most easiest is at Show Me What Podcast on Instagram, and that'll take you everywhere, including our YouTube, which seems to be quite popular as we were learning today. So that's nice.
That's what's up.
Is it because we are quite animated as people? Probably.
The podcasts have been shorter.
Maybe.
Which, hey, listen, y'all want like a 30-minute podcast? We'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Whatever gets you to watch, we'll cover it real fast.
We'll do it. Whatever.
We'll split every episode in 3 episodes. 30 minutes.
I'll actually edit them. How about that?
Hell yeah.
All right. Until next time.
Yes. Oh, wait, before you go, make sure to go to Arlo Australia on Instagram, ARLO_Australia, and get yourself some candles or some weed diffusers or some scented oils or some bath bombs, all that good stuff. And make sure you use our promo code SHOWMEMISS, all capitals, SHOWMEMISS, and you'll get 10% off all your purchases. So go do that. Support the podcast. Keep watching, keep listening, keep liking. Make sure you like us on Instagram. Make sure you like us on YouTube, like all our videos and saying like that. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. That's a big thing. And also make sure you comment, all right? Get this algorithm going. Comment. You know what I'm saying? If you like something that we did, or if you don't like something we did, tell us. Anything.
Feed the almighty algorithm.
Negative, positive, in between. We take it all. We're whores out here, boy.
Yeah, very much.
All right. Peace.